So I'm getting ready to do my hair in very long extensions, sort of like the kind that Beyonce and Nicki Minaj have been wearing, where they're braided down and then they're extended pretty long. Nicki Minaj has hers all the way to the ground, but mine are going to stop at the knee. Getting ready to do that using this hair that is goddess long. It's going to reach all the way down to my knees. And I'm getting ready to start putting in the braids. First thing you want to do, of course, is part your hair. And this is an obvious thing, using comb. You want to make sure you have actually some scissors, a comb either like this or like this to part your hair. And then if you're anything like me, you're going to want a wide tooth comb to comb through your hair. You can even use a comb like this to part your hair. You're going to want a couple of different hair bands. These hair bands will rip your hair out. These hair bands, scrunchies, will not rip your hair out as much. These ones get caught in your hair, wrap around, pull your hair out. Not good. So I'm going to be using some scrunchies here after I section my hair out. I'll be right back. Okay, another thing you're going to need is a pair of scissors because the hair is so long that it's going to tangle. Now, my hair is a little coarse and it dries pretty fast, so I also have a bowl of water and then this Cantu shea butter conditioner, and then I actually mixed it in with a whole bunch of castor oil to keep the moisture. And so I'm going to wet my hair each section before I even put the braid in. This is about how thin of a patch I'm having for the hair. Just literally like a tiny bit of the conditioner. And then this literally takes about 10 minutes per braid, I think. I know a lot of people are hella anti-comb right now, but unfortunately my hair kind of insists upon a comb. So let's go ahead and do this first braid. I'm going to section the hair about, this hair has been used several times. It is quite expensive and that's why I'm recycling. So this hair is already in waves as it has already been used. It's already sectioned off essentially, which does make it easier because when you're using fresh hair that's this long, it is going to tangle a lot. But this hair that I have, it's already been washed about 18 times. It's been braided, untaken out, and rebraided. So if you're familiar with doing your hair in singles, you do want to first section off about this much of your hair. This is going to be pretty much the base. You want to make sure you get a healthy amount because if you start with any less, like say this amount, it can pull out your hair, such as over here. Yeah, I've lost a lot of hair over here from individuals, but let's not get into that being too small. So I'm taking it all the way in the middle so that making sure it's even at the bottom. I'm going to use one hand, one finger to section this off, but I have to go over. So over, holding that under, and then I'm going to braid it. Pull that in there and just braid it as though I was braiding my real hair now. And now this is my real hair. Now, as I'm braiding, I'm feeling like this is way too much extension. Not way too much, but I'm feeling like I have too much hair in there. So I'm going to take some out because I don't want it to clog, to look clumpy. What I mean by that is this hair. I'm just going to take out about this much. I have to use my legs with this because it's so long. Okay. So now we have about this much hair going into this much hair. So it's kind of about the same amount of hair going braided into the hair. Again, I'm going to start at the beginning. The thing is that since it is the same amount of hair, the braid is at the top is going to be thicker than the braid at the bottom, and that's kind of what I don't like. So I do sometimes prefer to put in. So again, we're going overhead, using the middle finger to separate the hair, and then pulling it under and just braiding it as though you would a traditional cornrow. Making sure you pull tight at the beginning. And then as I braid, I'm going to, you always want to take from the loose hair and feed it to the hair underneath the finger. So you can't see it, but I'm getting ready to take this hair and put it underneath the finger that is locked here. I put it underneath this finger as to add it to the hair that was already there. I'm going to do the same with this one. Just taking it, I'm putting it underneath this finger so that it can mesh with the hair in the middle. That way I have even strands, as when you're braiding, you're crossing 3 strands together. And I wanted them to be even, and so now they will be distributed even, like so. 1, 2, and 3. And I'm actually going to take some from this because it's uneven. This is why you don't wear any makeup while you're doing this. And I'm adding this to the middle so that it can be even more even. Now we have 1, 2, 3. These are our strands. 1, 2, and 3. They look even enough. And then of course my real hair is going to have to go under there too. And then just go ahead and re-braid them. Starting to get that tangle at the bottom. And the fun thing about this is that it can be difficult to keep untangled and to keep your sections sectioned, because essentially braiding, you're constantly pulling in hair, and so you have to be very careful not to take from the other person. See, like this one, we just stole some hair from that one by accident, and now we're gonna have to go back in and give it back to it. So we have to wait for this one to come all the way over here, which it will soon. All right, so now we have to take from this and give it back to the hair in the middle. So take this and we're giving it back. Try not to steal it again, but it can be difficult. It would be easier if I'm going to braid in the mirror from now on, because we can all see now how the braid has taken place. I think this will take about 5 hours. It's 5 o'clock, 5:17 now. Let's see if it's still daylight by the time I'm finished. Alright, I'm going to finish this braid in the mirror, and I'll show you how it turns out. Okay, so you're going to start again with another braid, putting a little bit of that Cantu moisturizer in here, combing through with my fingers to make sure it gets nice and moist and flexible. You really, really want your hair to be as flexible as possible when you are braiding. So braiding your hair wet is a good idea, but you also want to keep in mind that as your hair dries, it is going to become tighter. And so I accidentally here braided my hair way too tight, which is kind of the result of pulling my hair out. That's why it's not safe for edges doing your hair like this, but I just kind of forgot the loose rule, so to speak. Again, I'm getting out some of that hair. The extensions, you want to be about the same thickness as, pull out like essentially if you were going to braid just singles. Make sure that thickness is about the same thickness as the extension that you're about to braid in. And it looks like it is. My extension might be a little thicker, but that's okay. Okay. Starting off with the section. Section it off with that middle finger, putting it around, latch into it, and then braiding as though you're braiding your regular hair. You don't even have to look in the mirror. Sometimes it's easier not to look in the mirror when you're doing this. But because I'm going to need to section off, I'm going to grab a mirror pretty soon here. Okay. There we go. Again, to grab hair, you want to do it from the loose hair and feed into the middle finger that is holding down the hair in the middle. Separate that so long that I'm going to use my feet and assist to pull it apart. And then doing the left side is always a little more difficult for me. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. Okay, again, I'm going to finish this braid and return. Okay, so if you are going to be doing your hair and not exactly in the middle, then you want to be careful, because I did one here and then I'm starting the other one way back here, which means they're a little uneven when you get to the bottom. One of them extending all the way down and the other one not so much. So what I've decided to do is just sort of do an uneven type of pattern with to make sure that they're evened out. So I'm just going to be doing one here, and then the next one will be kind of in the back, in the not so middle. And then I guess I'll just do the next one here, and I'll just keep doing it that way. And I'll check back in, so that some of them are going to be longer and some of them are going to be shorter, but by the time I'm finished, it'll be an even amount of long and short on each side, so it'll look right. I was not expecting this, and it also kind of looks like I have a bald spot in the middle of my head now, which if you think about it, I kind of do, because I am someone who loves tight braids, and so my hair is not exactly always happy about that, and does tend to sometimes pull out if I do the braids too tight. And like I said, because I do my hair wet, by the time the hair dries, it's even tighter than it was when I originally put it in. And I think that might be where I'm messing up a little bit. So I'm going to get back to the parting of the hair here. The first part is a little difficult, but the second part you just pretty much want to follow the thickness of the braid on the side there. What I usually do is kind of do a rough part with my fingers, just to get all of the extra hair out of my way. So just kind of do like a rough part, fast one with my fingers. Seal all this hair back up into a bun, and then I'm going to use my comb to even out the part. Unfortunately, periodically through my head, I do have a couple of like this area right here, where it's kind of like not necessarily a bald spot, but you can tell like the hair has pulled out, because I did just have really long, all the way down to my knees, long single individual braided, and I'm going to be doing that again pretty soon here. But because it's so heavy and they're so tight and they're individuals, they can be really damaging for the hair, for the scalp. I'm not going to be bleaching my hair again for another, I think I have another month before my next bleach job. It is nice to give your hair at the very least 2 weeks in between bleaches. This is, I think, 3 bleach jobs, and then I'm going to do one more. I am trying to get to platinum, but I want to do it slowly. Soon I'm going to, I want to get platinum and then get platinum extensions, so that my hair is the complete opposite in contrast to my beautiful dark brown skin. No makeup, but trust me, my skin looks more flawless than it actually is. Look. Well, this camera loves me, but I got some blemishes. Not very much. It does pay to have skin this dark, but there's still some. Well, actually, now that I've been in the sun a lot, my blemishes are pretty much have gotten darker. So my skin has gotten so much darker that I kind of don't have blemishes right now. It's a beautiful thing. Okay, so here we go, and I'm just going to go ahead and braid in another one of these tracks. Sorry, I don't have any like cool music or anything. I can sing if you want me to, though. You don't trust me. A stripper. Somebody come get her. I'm feeling water. Tiny bit of cashew. Sorry. No, no. I'm gonna take it. Stranger. With my nigga. You really want to make sure that your hair, your free hair, is tight in the bun because it really, really, really sucks to get like a couple strands of hair that's not supposed to be braided in the braided hair. It's one of the best ways to pull your hair out. Let's see how long it takes to do one braid. I think it's already been an hour and I have 3 braids done. 2.5 really. But I'm actually kind of doing other things too, so. Okay. Last time, 1 braid. Trying to make sure I get the perfect proportion because I hate having to take the braid out like after I start it. So I just need a tiny bit more. Having this hair having been used before kind of makes it easier, but then it also kind of makes it more difficult because um, it has some little like, if you can see here, it has like a knot in it to where like I can't just easily separate it. Whereas if it were fresh hair, it would be easy to separate. So, still got my money. I wish I had some money. Oh, all I see is dollar signs. Oh, oh. Perhaps you might not want me to sing. Throw it up. Watch me throw it from the sky. Blow it up. And watch it gonna fall out. Throw it up. And watch it gonna fall out. Throw it up. See, my hair is already dry. As soon as I put water in it, like literally, I swear 10 seconds later, it's dry. Sometimes I feel like I could put the lake in my water and in my hair, and it's still going to be dry. Took on my money. There we go. Took on my money. Is it just me, or is Rihanna like looking completely fucking edible in this music video? Oh, oh, all I see is dollar signs. All right, watch. This is going to go fast. Notice how I have not yet distributed the hair evenly. So I'm just pulling. I'm getting ready to do that now. But first I have to wait until the free, this hair right there goes underneath the, this hair has to first be underneath the finger here. Then I can take some hair that's loose. It doesn't really matter which side it comes from. And I'm going to take some of this hair and put it underneath the finger. There we go. And sorry, I cannot see what I'm showing when I'm showing it, so I don't know if y'all are seeing the right parts or not, but I just want you to see what I'm doing up close here. All right, so this one's obviously more full, so now I'm going to take some hair from here. Put this underneath the finger. I'm putting it underneath this finger. And now these are my sections, section 1, section 2, section 3. Just alleviate your clothes, I'm a fire bro. And as I'm going down, I am obviously pulling my own hair and mixing it in with this extension. All right, a full song has gone off and I'm still braiding the same braid. What we're not gonna do is listen to the song, the original version, but we are gonna party with Cardi. Cause Cardi got your Barty and a Rari, diamonds all over her body, diamonds all over her body. So yeah, in case you guys haven't heard that song, you're about to hear it now. Diamond all over my body. Cardi got your bitch on Molly. You know, Cardi can make your bitch feel like she's on Molly, even if she ain't on Molly. Or is that just me? Cardi got body of Rari's. Diamonds all over my body. Shining all over my body. Gotta get bitch on Molly. Bitch, you ain't gave me lame. Bitch, you ain't lame me lame. I got the same. Alright. So when I get to the back, it gets kind of difficult. You got to be really careful to get that tight. Gotta get brain offset. Cody. That's funny. Bitch, that bitch. Come here, bitch. I'm from my fucking LA. Just putting that out there. Gotta get body and Rari. I'm gonna love my body. Son, I love my body. I'm gonna lose some money. Bitch, gonna lay in a lane. Bitch, gonna lay in a lane. That's insane. Gotta get you upset, huh? Okay, there we go. Gotta get brain upset. So I don't think this is going to go, when I use this hair to do individuals, I don't know if I'm heard, but let's see, turn this down a little bit. So when I use these extensions, this hair to do individuals, it went all the way down to the back of my knees. But because I'm actually braiding from up here instead of just like one individual, the hair is not as long. Now, the thing is, the hair could be as long. I'm just doing it, I'm bending the hair in the middle. This is essentially like 76 inches, but I'm bending it in the middle, so it's about 30. Okay, I'm not really a math, I'm not really a math person, but essentially, it's not as long as it is when I'm doing it in individuals. But if I did want the hair to be 70 something inches long, it could be that long. I just would have to simply, I'll show you actually after this braid. So let's finish this one up and then I'll show you how if you wanted to extend the hair to make it even longer, you could do that. You upset, huh? I get brain upset. I plan to braid G-Eazy someday, and I'm not sure how it's gonna work out, but it was with me and get some money. Fuck with me and get some money. Alright, drop it. Drop it. Alright. Okay. Okay. Get this really on fire. Once you try it. Maya. I take one time, I'm a wiper. I fuck 2 times, I'm a wiper. I fuck 3 times, I'm a wiper. And it's safe for the black or the white guys. And it's safe, feeling safe, feeling safe, feeling safe. Pipe up, nigga, pipe up. Hey, fuck with me and get some money. Fuck 'em, then I get some money. Shit. Fuck 'em, then I get some money. Fuck 'em, then I get some money. All right. So this should have been somewhere. So I messed up my braid, my part. This whole bit should have been over here, and I'm not taking this out. But essentially, this should be braided under this hair. Yeah. So, but what's it going to do? Pussy popping on the touch. All right. So I'm gonna start my next one just probably right here in the middle. Fuck, and then I guess I'm married. I'm gonna part this in my mirror. Hey, you know what? I gotta say something, bro. Like, I really gotta say something. And, okay. You guys are going to think that I am a. Oh, you might think that I'm a horrible fucking person for what I'm about to say. But before we get started, I just want to say guys rape females every day, right? In my classroom, in my sexual psychology class that I took a couple terms ago. I think this is when I was like a freshman. Yeah, I was a freshman. Um, my teacher did like a anonymous poll, and it was like concerning like reasons that people should expect to be raped or something. And then like you know how most guys are like, well, if a girl's walking down the street by herself at night wearing a short skirt or whatever. And then like some stupid ass female even said that like women with a certain attitude should like expect to be raped, right? Anyway, so I think that shit's horrible. Like who the fuck is gonna say somebody deserves to be raped for what they're wearing or how they're speaking or playing hard to get or whatever? But literally, okay, I don't excuse rape. I think it's disgusting. I think it's horrible. And I never even fucking understood it. I'm like, why can't you just like be nice to somebody and like buy them things and like, you know, compliment them and stuff and like, you know, earn their sex or like find somebody who looks like them or whatever. I never understood rape. Anyway, I was listening to like G-Eazy in his music, and for some reason, okay, once again, don't think anything bad about me. But like literally I wanna like tie him up and like lock him in my basement with like a dildo and like do mean things to him sexually. And I want to like slap him and like call him my bitch and tell him to give me my fucking dick back, you little faggot bitch. And okay, so this isn't me at all. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is about him. But like he literally makes me want to like fucking tie him up, keep him in my basement for weeks and like just fucking take it. And I don't know why. So, I mean, I can't, go talk to a fucking therapist about this or anything. I can't bring this up to daddy, you know what I mean? But that's my confession. And I hope that I'm helping you guys out enough with doing your hair to where you won't judge me on that. Okay? So, everybody has a dirty little secret. Don't act like mine is the worst thing in the world. And now let's get back to braiding hair. Okay. No one judge me on that. Okay? Okay. Oh my god. Spider. Spider. Right. Okay, I have to part over here. Yeah. Back me again. You know what? I'm gonna at least put on some lipstick because I feel like, I mean, no makeup is okay, but I'm just gonna at least put on some lipstick. Okay? Yeah. Fuck with me and get some money. Fuck with me and get some money. Because I wanna find the contract. You wanna fuck stick up. Coming down the hill. You know what? I'm gonna put my contacts in too. Let mine. I mean, if I'm making a video. Okay, so as the song says, I just want it to look good for you. I still didn't put on any makeup, but I did put on my contacts and some nice red lipstick. And the thing is that that's kind of a beauty secret, ladies. Like if you're ever in a rush to get, yourself real pretty, because you know how sometimes your boyfriend will just like text you, "Oh, hey, I'm down the block," or your girlfriend will text you like, "Oh, hey, I came to visit someone who just so happens to live next door to you," and you have like 5 minutes to make yourself look as hot as you can. Literally, these three ingredients. Like, if you can't braid your hair up real quick, put your hair up in a bun. Like, you'll literally go from this in like a couple of seconds. Like, from this to like this. and then like a pair of contacts that are like a different color than your eyes, that doesn't necessarily make you look pretty, but it does give you an automatic like wow factor, you know what I mean, that's complimentary. So, you know, if you do have like a lot of blemishes on your face or open pores or something, they're not focusing on that. They're just focusing on, you know, the extremity of your change. And then like red lipstick, it makes your teeth look whiter. Um, and it's another pop factor. So if you have like just a couple seconds to make yourself go from like regular looking to like, you know, someone I really like is coming over, you know what I mean? And you just want like, and you only have like maybe 2 minutes, 2 minutes, contacts, lipstick, hair back. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to do the next part, and then I'm going to get back on and we'll time to see how long it takes to do one braid, because the last timing wasn't that great. Okay, so I am going to time and see how long it takes to do one braid. So I have wet my hair and put in the conditioner, and now we're getting ready to see exactly how long it takes to braid one of these braids. In a Bobby wow, bleaching plastic, that's fantastic. Not a blind simple girl, just a fantasy world, just me a tiny I want a little bit more in this one. Okay, here we go. This might be a little too thick, but I hope not. If it is, of course, I'll have to do the dreaded taking the braid out. Okay, here we go. Before I separate it, I'm getting a really good grip by braiding my natural hair first and making sure it's really tight. Not real too tight, but tight enough to where I feel secure. Um, Now I'm going to take some hair from here, and I'm going to actually feed this hair to this finger right here. And that is, as you can see, holding down this hair, which is the middle. Okay, here we go. I am pulling it to make sure that it's tight, but it's not really necessary to pull it that tight. So now these are my 3 sections. As you can see, they're not even. This middle one here is much thicker. And so I'm going to end up using the middle lane to feed the thinnest section. But first I'm going to turn from G-Eazy. Well, this is awkward. Okay, here we go. I have to wait for this to come over here. Yeah, you guys are being too loud. Okay. Um, the sections are not as even as I would like them, so I'm going to end up splitting again. They're even enough, I guess. Oh man, I forgot to see what time it was. When I started, I'm going to actually have to do another timing for myself. This takes a long time for just one braid, and you have to be so careful if you want that, braid look, which I'm not seeming to manage too well on this braid. This way I can look in the mirror. Okay.